Batter up, sports card fans. I am so excited. We have a fun video for you today. If you can see through the plastic, we have four, count them, four HGA slabbed cards to review today. We're going to review the entire process. We'll go through all the stats. We'll go through everything, that the grades, the slabs. This will be G-Dubs Collects official review of HGA. So let's get right into it. Won't mess around at all. So first off, I took it out of the box. I have not seen these grades yet. I took it out of the box. Obviously, it's got my shipping logo, shipping address on it and everything. It's a white box, very typical cardboard box that you would put, like a 500 count baseball cards in. It's a little bit thicker, so the cards can stand on their side, which is nice. They fit in there perfectly. It was wonderfully packed, wrapped up in bubble wrap with extra bubble wrap on either side. Loose, so it's not like, going crazy or anything like that. So let's get rid of the bubble wrap and let's take a look. So again, I have not seen these. To be honest with you, this is my first. We'll get to that, but if you can see this, oh no, oof, that label is in rough shape. Anyway, we're gonna power through. This is my first time grading with any company. I have plenty of PSA cards, but I've purchased them third party, eBay, trade shows and everything. I've never submitted on my own. So this is my first time. So unlike what I believe PSA does, where they will send you the grading report, I did not receive a grading report from Hybrid Grading. So, which I wouldn't have wanted anyway, because I like the surprise. If you've waited, for me, I waited 60 days for these. I can wait another week and get them, So full disclosure, I ordered these on 2/26 with the 60-day turnaround. And so $20 a card, etc. I don't believe I shipped them out for a week, so that's important to note. However, that's all kind of moot because it was received on 3/11 and I received them, they were shipped on 6/11. So the math theoretically checks out for the most part. It's important to note 60 days is business days. They don't include weekends, don't include holidays. So from my best estimate, they were 7 days late. It took 67 days. I removed some of the holidays that I assumed that they took. So without further ado, let's at least get to this Bo Bichette right here. We'll leave this right here. So I only sent in rookie card variants from 2020 from the complete set pack, because I just wanted to, I wanted to see the different labels. If I were SGC, I think they have the biggest potential to see HGA as a competitor because of their labels alone. Now, having said that, because of their labels alone, if they screw up the labels, that's a pretty big thing. So first impression here, this might be the heaviest grading case out there. So we'll get to that in a second. Let's get to the first grade. Woo-wee! Well, it's a shame because, so you can see, this is horribly off. It's just out of place. So I don't know if I can do that. It doesn't do anything, which is nice because I would hope that wouldn't be the fix, because then that just means it's going to constantly rattle. So if you can see here, the label is one piece of paper and they folded it. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I've never noticed, honestly, on PSA if that's how they do it as well. But, I feel like if you don't get a good crease over here and it curls at all, I wonder over time if it's going to curl. So let's, first off, this is nice. It's in this wrapping. I like that. Really protects the the plastic so that you don't get scratched. Because from what I've seen from PSA, they don't do that, and they're just kind of stacked up. So, boy. Ooh, look at that. That is, ooh. That is inside. That's some of like the, it's all on the side here too. So it's rough on the side. So I'm probably going to be reaching out to them. Here's the other thing I'm going to say about HGA right off the bat. The owner of HGA has been unbelievable about customer service and talking to people, fixing mistakes. So in this day and age where everyone just wants to complain, can we just take a deep breath? I'm not going to bash these guys right off the bat. I'm not happy with this. So, I mean, I'll say that. I mean, when you get this back, I mean, quality control has to happen. And you have to see this and go, hey guys, that's not cool. Like, that's not good. Did this happen in shipping? Probably. Did that happen in shipping? Probably not. Now, maybe it could have shown up later on because it, you know, once it, I don't know how this works, like how it burns through and like solidifies and all that. But I'm not going to bash them until I reach out to them and say, hey, like, this doesn't look right. What do you think? And then let the customer service do the talking, you know? And if they make it right, which I'm sure they will, then what am I going to complain about? So I'll have a follow-up video for that, okay? But off the bat, that's some issues. I mean, there's the bleeding down here too, so that's not great. As far as the label goes, I'll show you, I tried all different ones, and with Beau Bichette specifically, I believe, yes, I did. With Beau Bichette specifically, I made sure to do 2 different ones. So this was the neutral team color, I believe, is what I picked. And I love it. Look, especially with this design, the little red bars and everything like that. These labels are unbelievable. So in person, I mean, it's a little bit more like a printout, just like a, you know, inkjet printer, which I'm not particularly fond of, but like they looked a lot glossier and like nicer in photos. And then of course there's like some, if you can see it here, right there, there's some like bleeding where it's like touching it's either like the inkjet globbed up a little bit or it's just pressing up against the thing. So, but overall for the grade here, not too shabby. Centering is pretty much the only thing that prevented this from probably getting close to, I mean, obviously I believe it would have to be a 10. All of them would have to be 10s, I suppose. The other thing is HGA has been quite tough on their grading so far. So, I mean, for me, that's what I like to see, and that's what's going to, I assume, help them out the most. So, I definitely did some tests too for these. As much as I want perfect cards, I did do a little bit of a test. So let's jump right to the Beau Bichette, actually, the other Beau Bichette, so we can compare it. And this was a test because, as you can see, the little white down here, that little white corner, I took pictures too, so I'll show you the pictures before and after. So we got a 9 here. Corners are a 9. Centering's also a 9. So that's just interesting. Obviously, this is from 2 separate complete sets that I had. And now this is their generic match team. And then this one was neutral label with the team color. So, still like it. So because there's 2, so that gives you a little bit of idea. Now, overall, the case, a couple scratches and scuffs on it a little bit, but nothing too major. That's just kind of dirty right there. The label's much better on this, and you really can't see that it's like 2 pieces of paper on this one. You can kind of see it up here because it like puffs up just a little bit, but much more impressed with the labeling on this one. And the funny thing is their label is actually a little off too. So their label's a little off center. There's not a lot of border on the side over there. So there you have it. There's two different looks right there for the Bobachettes. So that's not too shabby. Oh, I just so much for so much for drama. Oh no. All right. So centering is a 10 on this, 9. So this is interesting.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I'll let you guys be the judge, but I'm gonna put the side-by-side comparison here. So if I can get this to center up, see that white corner there? I mean, that's pretty obvious from here. So I'm gonna leave that there. Now I'll put up the photo that I took. It's not nearly as bad. It was still a little bit white, but I wouldn't have, honestly, I would not have sent it in under this condition. So that's a little, it's a little upsetting for two different reasons here. Now, if you pause the video, you actually saw what the Jordan grade was. I actually didn't see it, but I know that I flipped it over. So, oh boy, look at this. So again, I'm gonna contact them, but look at, that has the bleeding too. So that's a big bummer. And this is not the right label either. I did team match team on the label. So same as this one. It should be this. So it should be the darker one. I'm not gonna lie though, I like this a lot better. I like this label. That's a beautiful label. Like, that's really, it's for your PC. If you're not looking for value, like if you're not looking to flip these things, these are jumping very quickly up my power rankings, and that's with a couple oh no. Oh no. I don't know if you can see it in here. This card's very damaged. So this corner's folded right over here. If I can catch it in the light, it's got a little bit of a, there it is right there. It's got a ding, and same thing right here, unless this is some sort of a shadow, but let me get the light to reflect. If you can see it right there, that's got a bend right there too. And like I said, I took photos of these before I sent them in. Now, again, these are not huge cards, so I'm not crying about it. But that corner was not as bad as it is right now. Like, see all that white? There was a little white there, so it should have definitely been a 9, is really what I was thinking. But the fact, here's the problem, is that it gets a 9.5, not a 9. And let's see, this one gets a 9 for corners. And I also took a picture of this one. So let me get this kind of in focus here. And you can see that versus the photo that I sent in. So that looks more accurate. And there's nothing else wrong with the card. This looks like it was dropped. I think it was, because this one's fine for condition. So, wrong label. I think this was dropped after grading, because that corner, there's no, I mean, to the naked eye, back here, you can see it. You can totally see that. So there's no way that gets it, for how stingy they've been with grading, there's no way that gets a 9.5. That would get like at that point, that's like an 8. I would imagine. So, and then it is the wrong label, but I like this label better. So I'll take that. So now let's jump over to the Jordan. So the Jordan gets a 9.5 too. So from the naked eye, this has been the worst condition. So I would swap these two grades and that would make more sense. But for the Jordan, I get a 9.5 as well. And so this is the team. So this is, again, this is the same thing. Match team, neutral label, match team is what my order said. So, I mean, it's possible this is not my card and they just screwed up with someone else's card. This case completely acceptable to me. There's nothing wrong. Label looks good. So you can definitely see some lifting on this. You can see the other, if I tilt it like that, you can see the other half, and you can definitely see it up there. I do not like that. This one's not folded properly. It's folded. See the white that's showing through on the top there? They didn't fold it cleanly. So that's a big issue for me, because this is what you're buying, this label. This is their strongest. I will say the case is actually. So let me deviate for a second. So here's a SGC slab for size comparison. Pretty much they are almost identical. This has rounded corners. This has a little bit more squared off corners. I like the rounded corners. Just about the same weight, I would say. And this is a heavy slab. And then PSA, sorry to flex a little bit. It's thinner, definitely thinner, lighter. It's a little bit smaller this way, just about the same height. So there's that, but very similar cases with the rounded corners. And then I think Beckett is still probably the heaviest case. Definitely the thickest, although these are very close for thickness. And obviously Beckett's a little bit smaller. The squared off. So honestly, it's like SGC kind of, these two are very similar. You know, it's like SGC kind of modeled theirs after Beckett, and HGA definitely modeled theirs after PSA. But the thickness of it, the plastic feel itself, it's a high quality. I have to say that it's a very high quality. So, but what I was saying is, this is your bread and butter. The label. The label's got to be. They need to kick it up a notch because it looks beautiful. But like here, as far as I know, they at least do a better job of hiding it. If it's, see how PSA, the ridge goes in between, so it probably clamps it down a little bit more, whereas this one is kind of sitting in a window. Same thing for this. It's not double-sided. And then the Beckett one, I believe, is like a sticker. And obviously it's a little metallic. So if that's how they all do it, they just need to fix that a little bit more, because that is a big turnoff. You can see it straight on. You can see the bottom part there, and then you can see the top part on the back. So this has to be your strong. You got to lead with this and knock that out of the park. So surface issue, I guess maybe there's a scratch here on the middle there, but this would have been interesting to see, you know, between the two of them. Centering is a 10 on this one. So I guess this would have been the centering. If this was a 9.5, I wonder if that would have kicked it up. If it's all 9.5s, does it stay as a 9.5, or does it get jumped up to a 10? I assume that it's all got to be, you know, 3. It's got to be the majority, so they probably all have to be 10s to get a 10. So when they first came on the scene, these labels, they were great, but I was like, I don't really get the cloud. These are magnificent. This is how I would get everything. I would get it card match or team color match, whichever one I think is better. But that's the way to go, because this is nice, but the clean, I just love it. So all in all, I would say it's a 50-50 mix. I'm happy with the grades. Not happy with the condition this came back in. Screwed up the label. Definitely not happy with I mean, this is unacceptable. Like, this kind of stuff, the label, this piece here, and then this here. So really the only one that the only one they knocked it out of the park on was this one. And I'm pretty sure, and the label is a little wonky in that one. But I'm pretty sure the condition of this card was fine. So I'll put up the photos for that. So I'm definitely gonna reach out to them. Like I said, the owner of HGA has been so open and available, and the customer service, from what I've heard, has been outstanding for HGA. So I'm not going to say anything bad about that. And I'll do a little recap when I get it back, and I'll let you guys know. But like, yeah, this label up here, the case issues. So they have some quality control issues, and then whatever happened to this card, they've got some handling issues going on. But all in all, 7 days late, quote unquote, and that's with my estimates. It's very much acceptable in this day and age. They stack really well. They stack great. I mean, I'm sure all of them stack great, but shipping, the system, the lottery system, I love. A lot of people complain about it. I love it. It gives everyone an equal chance. You can really see how off center that one is, because you can see the other one's showing through. All in all, I would say that I would definitely grade with them again, but only for PC stuff. I'm not sending any huge cards to them, and that's kind of an issue that they're going to have to deal with. But I love the font. I love the graphics. The labels are beautiful. They just need some quality stuff. So that's all for today. Make sure you like the video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you have any HGA returns. Let me know who you think is, let's see, so we'll have to do this, because these ones are all wonky, and this is the only one they knocked out of the park. So let's set it up right now. See which one you guys like. Where are you putting your money? Who's getting your grades? Let me know. Right after you click the subscribe button and like the video. Comment down below which grading company is your go-to. Obviously PSA is where the money's at, but what does your heart say? That's your brain. Your brain says that. What does your heart say? Do you like the tuxedo? Do you like the, I mean, the subgrades, huge plus for them, but now HGA's doing it with a better label, centered up, nicer case, so better name, Beckett. So what's your poison? Let me know. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GDubsCollects. Send me a message there if you want. My DMs are always open, and let me know. Share some pictures with me. If you had any horror stories with HGA, send them over there. And most importantly, keep the hobby alive. Keep on collecting.